Howdy everybody, Steve here. Okay, nope, can't do that. This is a CB video. You can't use call signs on CB radio. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. Let's go take a look at this new CB from Radioddity, the CB-500. Testing! We don't just do ham radio on this channel, we do GMRS and we also do CB. This is the Radioddity CB-500. Works on 12 or 24 volts. And I want to get in and get this thing open and see what it looks like, because I dig me some CB radios. Instruction manual. It is all English. 14 pages of fury, folks. Okay, important stuff before we get too far into this. Power output, 4 watts max, FM and AM. So this will do FM and AM. Inside here we have our mounting bracket. We have a mounting bracket for the microphone and some more pieces for the mounting bracket. We got a chunky boy microphone. We'll show you that a little bit later. Oh, the radio has a cigarette lighter plug connector. Sorry, aux port. There we go. Look at that. SO239, external speaker, speaker on the bottom. Fairly lightweight. Fairly easy going on the front panel control type stuff. This microphone has a screw-in type plug and it is a 5-pin design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pin. This microphone has a screw-in type plug and it is a 6-pin design. This is gonna make it really easy to power off of my battery. This right here is my Dr. Prepare lithium iron phosphate 100 amp hour battery. I did a battery review on this on my RV channel up here, and then I'm gonna do a long-term review on this on the ham channel coming up. So make sure you're subscribed to see that. In the short term though, one of the things I really like about this battery is this little hub up here. What other 100 amp hour battery do you know of that has a built-in cigarette lighter plug and a built-in set of USB plugs, a DC barrel jack, and power poles for input? Power poles are for input, the rest is for output. I wish those power poles were for output, but I did one of these things because I'm a ham and that's what we do. So, all I need to do to get this radio on the air is plug it in to the battery. There we go. Next up, I need to get an antenna on it. And then as far as antennas go, we are using this in its natural element with the, oh, let me get up there, rooftop mag mount. And this truck is really interesting because that is the exact right spot to put it. And they tell you with all of these little ribs up here that protect your roof from stray RF signals. And then continuing along the line of compromises, it goes right in the window into the radio. CB is always a little interesting. You never know what you're gonna get when you turn the radio on. Let's find out what's out there. So I got my big mess of wires here, and I wanna hit the on button. That volume knob is a little touchy. On our microphone, we have down, PF, and up, EU9. So down here in the bottom corner, you can see 27.405, and we are mode FM. I'm gonna switch to AM, because I'm likely to hear more on AM. And we're gonna start on channel 1. What the heck is this? Cable TV, 40 channels and nothing on? All right, nothing on the air is always a good place to start. I checked the owner's manual. There isn't any explanation of what that EU is. Let's take a look at some of the buttons. We have an AM, FM button. That's pretty obvious. We have a SQ/AQ button, and that's going to give us our squelch. And then AQ is the ASQ function. So it's a long press on the squelch AQ button to get that activated. And I want to turn it off again. And AQ is automatic squelch level. And then it's a little awkward, but it gets the job done. If you press both of these top 2 buttons at once, you get the lock icon. And so now I can't change the channels because it's locked. So you push both of those buttons again to unlock it, and we're back to being unlocked. And as far as that goes, there's channel buttons on the top. This is emergency. This will get you emergency channel 1, which is channel 9, and emergency channel 2, which is channel 19. I really wouldn't be expecting a whole lot of emergency responder action on this, but in the case of an emergency and no other communications methods are available, this will probably help you out. All right, and then you long press this button, and you get into the menus, and then we're going to use the microphone up and down. Echo, alert, RF gain, CDT ID. What the heck is CDT ID? So the manual says nothing about CDT ID, so I guess we just don't need to know what that is. Emergency 1, emergency 2, so you can set those channels. PF key is for noise reduction. That's the key on the top of the microphone there. Factory reset, and we can change the colors. Green, blue, cyan, yellow. That's really not yellow. That's just a different shade of green. PU PU for purple. Stinky. CL, don't know what the CL would stand for, but that's the same as cyan. This looks good to the eyeballs in person. I'm gonna stick with orange, because orange seems to show up pretty good on camera. Brightness, key beep on, let's turn that off. All right, now there's no more beep. Roger beep off, let's turn that on. And what's the most annoying one I can think of? That one, right there. We're gonna go with that one. Mic gain 5, mic type, electret. SP path. Let's see if they tell us what SP path means. SP path, speaker volume path setting. NT, which is what it was set to, the volume knob affects the internal speaker volume. IC, the volume knob affects the microphone built-in speaker volume. And TH, the volume knob affects both of the volumes. Scan type, scan skip, Vox settings, talk back. When the function is active, press and hold the PTT switch, then up and down keys on the unit to increase, decrease the volume level of the talk back. Back into the menu. Timeout timer set, ANLNB is different filters for you. The noise blanking filter and the auto noise leveling filter. High cut turns on the high cut or turns off the high cut. NR set sets the level of the noise reduction, and there's noise reduction when you're transmitting and when you're receiving. And then echo function, turn off echo function or turn on echo function. Echo volume level, alert function, and the RF gain setting, and that is all of your menus. So the user manual here doesn't really go into a lot of detail on what the things are that are on your screen or what the things mean. So this might not be a good radio for beginners with this owner's manual that comes with it. It does tell you a brief overview, like this is, so for like Vox setting, the top left corner here, it does tell you that the Vox setting sets the Vox, but it doesn't tell you what Vox is. I know what Vox is, you know what Vox is, some people know what Vox is, but not all people know what Vox is. And it would be helpful if they could tell you what all those different features were and how to use them all and all that kind of stuff. This is a cheap little flimsy paper manual. It's about that thick, and there ain't a lot of room in there for all kinds of extra explanations. From a radio perspective, it does have the CT CSS type tones. It does have AM and FM mode, and it's got 4 watts of fury. Let's check that out. See, this is where those color changing menus are important. I have the radio, and I have the power meter, and then I have a dummy load, and now the radio's orange matches the power meter's orange. We're at AM on channel 19, 3.45 watts out. Let's switch over to FM mode. 3.5 watts out. So one of the things that I want to do on a CB radio is scan, and here is the information on scanning. 3.8, the scan function. In CB mode, which we are in CB mode and not in weather mode. See, now we're in weather mode. Now we're back to CB mode. Press and hold the up and down arrow keys on the unit or the up and down keys on the microphone for 7 seconds or until a beep sounds to start the CB scan function. When the CB scan function is active, scan blinks on the LCD. So I'm going to press, it says to press both of them, so I'm going to press both of them. And that's not easy to do. And nothing. So on top of the microphone, you have your down and your up keys. Let's do those two. It's actually easier to do it on the microphone. And nothing. So the microphone itself, while we're talking about it, is actually fairly good. It's a decent size, it's a chunky boy, but it feels good in the hand. It's really easy to hit the different buttons and whatnot. And again, the up and down arrows on the top. So I'm going to hold down the up button, just the up button itself. And that automatically starts scanning, but I'm still holding down the button. So if I let go of the button, it stops scanning. It now says scan, but it ain't doing any actual scanning. It's stuck. So that's probably because the squelch is set too high. So let's set too low. Let's set the squelch a little higher. It's at 8. Now it's at 11. Okay. And we're back to scanning because it lost the lock on that channel, which is great. And that's your scanning speed. That's not terrible. That's not too bad. I'm going to leave this thing scan for a while, and if we get some traffic, we'll come back.
Yeah, I was just down in St. Croix down here, just hearing you good. So.
Awesome. I got a little whip sitting on top of the roof of the pickup truck here. I'm right across from the hospital. Right, well, everything works, but I guess that's the end of that conversation. Speaker on this thing is in the bottom of the radio, and the bottom of the radio is pointed at the battery. It still sounds pretty good to my ear in my shack, and I don't know how well the microphone's picking it up, but sounds fine to me. There is a plug on the back for an external speaker or a PA, so you can publicly address people Awesome stuff. All right, I figured out the trick on the scan function. You have to have your squelch turned up so that everything is silent when there isn't any actual speaking going on. And then you hold down the up arrow or the down arrow, it doesn't matter. And if you wait long enough, it'll change and say scan, and now it's scanning on its own. And now I can push up or down. If I push down, it goes down direction. If I push up, it goes back in the up direction. Then if I just want to stop, I hit the PTT, and we have stopped on 19. We found something on channel 9. It was just a little bit of a siren there or something, I don't know. It's gone now. There you have it, folks. This is a nice little affordable, potent, capable, usable CB radio. It does the thing. I was able to make a contact with it, and it is tiny and compact and worked great with an antenna. There will be a link in the description down below where you can get this radio from Radioddity, and also a discount code for you. And then I'll also link the antenna that I use. The antenna is nothing special, but it's the antenna that I have, and that's what makes it special to me. There's a video right over here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.